Hey, what's up? As you can see, I have some sweet purple lights in the background now. I just got them from Amazon.com. And incidentally, uh, stupid music. I really gotta change this music. Incidentally, I'm also gonna watch Amazon's Rings of Power tonight, episode number 2. And so let's just get right into it. The first one was hilarious. There was some funny parts, but actually it was real. I was starting to get bored, a little bit yawny, sleepy. Like it was putting me to sleep. It wasn't so much like boring. Yeah, it was boring. The beginning was good. There was a few weird things going on, like the main thing, I didn't quite understand what was going on half the time, and then also the silly things that the characters were saying and all that. I suspect that it's gonna be the same thing here, with episode 2. I don't remember what happens in episode 2. I'm basing all this off of the reviews that I've seen of other people. So as far as what I know happens, I haven't watched it. But I've seen clips. So the last one left off with the meteor guy, which is like Gandalf, I guess, and he was there in all the fire, and what else? And then so those are the two main things. He was in the fire, and then Nori got there, and then Galadriel was dove into the water. And she looked like, according to the map, it looked like she was frickin' 5,000 miles out in the ocean. So anyways, yeah, that was silly. We know what's gonna happen. She's gonna find a raft or whatever. So I'm just gonna start it right now. And here we go. I'll just pause it and give some commentary along the way. I'm also still figuring out my audio. So I think I got to figure it out. I was peaking the first time, and it's because I was messing with the wrong slider or whatever. Reminding us what happened, not because it didn't just happen, because it did, but because I can't remember what happened in the last episode, because it didn't feel like anything happened. So I can't remember. Nothing stood out. So if anything stood out, it would have been easy to remember.
Without it, what? Haven't you?
I just love how they're recapping all the stuff that didn't happen. It did happen, but a cow wandered. It's just funny, to recap, and it's all dramatic music, and they're last time on Rings of Power, a cow wandered east. Where was this cow? It was east. Have you met Celebrimbor? These are just so mundane things. Last time on Rings of Power. Have you met Celebrimbor? A cow wandered east.
Wandered?
Yeah, so this intro wasn't in the first one. What are these, spider webs? Gross. This intro must have been where their budget went. This whole audio sand thing where you can make patterns, I guess, with a speaker or something. The amount of cinematography for some sand moving around. I don't know. Alright, so here we go. We got the Meteor Man, right? Oh, no, it's Gally. Our friend Gally. Well, she has no choice. She has to swim. I can understand someone making a rash decision at the last minute, but not something that's life and death, right? It'd be equivalent to driving to the store to get groceries, and at the last minute you decided you didn't want to get groceries, and so you jumped out of your car while it was rolling at 40 miles per hour or something like that. I don't know. You're dead. That was a bad example. Yes, this is the part where we're gonna see her make that insane face. What is that actress's name? Markella Kavanagh. How did he survive when he landed? I guess the meteor had either he's immortal, we don't know anything about him yet, or as in his skin and bones don't break or don't get cut, or he was in some kind of capsule that like absorb the shock. Who knows? Nori, don't. Nori, don't. But she do. These flames, they kind of just look like buried like pipes of gas that they turn on and off, you know. But whatever. Okay. But her face. Hold on, let me go. I gotta go back to it. Yeah. Oh man, I love this face.
You gonna help me or not? Not. Poppy!
Wait. She just said, okay, because I know what's gonna happen later, she just said, we can't just leave him to the wolves or for the wolves to eat him. And she was like, that's not who we are. But we know that in the future they leave each other to die. They leave each other if they're like hurt their legs or something. So that is who they are. The show is like full of contradictions. Nori's stealing some stuff. Didn't he he's really good at smelling, isn't he? Why didn't he smell Nori stealing those items? They can't pull that little cart. They're pulling him up like a hill. They can barely pull him and push him. And yet they push their whole giant house on long trips, and it's like probably 10-20 times heavier than this cart. How can they possibly do that? Like, it doesn't really add up, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to try a couple different drinks. This one is Big Game Energy Sour Gummy. I don't know what that, yeah, I guess maybe sour gummy. And then I got like a G Fuel, and it's Tetris flavored, whatever that means. I've always thought that these Harfoots kind of look, or at least these two kind of look like fawns. Like if only they had like the hairy legs, because they always have like scraggly hair with like things sticking out of it. So if they just had like horns and then hairy legs, they could be fawns. Like half, are they called fawns? The half human, half like goat or whatever. I don't remember what they're called, but whatever. That was like supposed to be a little bit of comic relief, them like rolling down the hill. It's not that funny. Dirt. I don't see how these Harfoots could survive like this, living in like nasty, dirty tent structures on the ground. Like, think of all the rats that would like eat their feet and give them diseases at night.
I was supposed to find him.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's important. She's saying like, there's gotta be some, it's like important that he landed here. I'm like, yeah, it's important. It's a human person that landed from space. It's very important. It's an alien. All right, we're 10 minutes in and we're still with the Harfoots, and all that's happened is they have been hiding Meteor Man. Is it dangerous to be walking around in a burning down city? I think it probably would be. Like, I'd probably be like, maybe we should go and tell other people before we encounter whatever burned down this whole city. And he still has that face. I do not have any other facial expression other than this. Did she just say ground shake? That's from Earth Shake. From the Land Before Time. Hold on, let me just... A ground shake. Land Before Time. An Earth Shake. Hold on, let me find it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. This movie has meteors too. How does she look at that hole and say men did not do this? How does she know that it wasn't men that... Men dig holes all the time. We dig holes all the time. We love digging holes. We could dig a big hole. It's not like men could not dig a giant hole. We do it all the time underneath cities. I mean, well, like, okay, we have like hole digging equipment, but like you can use a shovel. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so what was it? A giant mole? That just the reason he must go is because he doesn't know what's down there. It's a stupid line. Kiss or okay, they didn't kiss. They're trying to make like some sort of like sexual tension between them, so they don't kiss. But like, I don't know if they've been together. It looks like they've been together for a while or something. Either that or, I mean, that's what it looks like. That's what they're showing. Like, they've known each other for a while. That's why, but they're like kind of hiding it from everyone else. But they're not, even when they're alone, they're not showing you know, they're not like they're kissing or anything. Like, why? So like, are they together? Are they not together? Did they split? I, I don't know what's going on. Drinking this is a bad idea right now. It's 8:50 p.m. I'm gonna be up all night. I don't know. It's kind of a weird cut. They just cut from the pit to like this nice city.
Strange, isn't it?
You wanted to touch that hammer so bad, didn't you? So Elrond. Oh wait. So they traveled, I guess, to his was that Celebrim? Yeah, Celebrimbor's place. Because he's gonna find out what's going on in behind the scenes with the Celebrimbor and the king guy. They were scheming some things. He was like, basically, he said, "What have I done?" The whoever the guy was, Theranor or whatever, who had the hammer before he created whatever he created, and then it was like all great, and he's like, "What have I done?" And then Elrond was like, "Oh, you've done a lot, and I've been
Turned my heart, my lord.
What you have done has turned my heart, my lord." Wow. Okay, we know whose hammer he wants. If you know what I mean. I'm not a fan of his dress. They act like humans. Like they act like they're from like I said in the last review, is the telenovela, like what do you call those drama shows on TV? They're telenovelas in Spanish. I don't know what they're called in English for some reason. But that's kind of like their acting is like just kind of not great. Not like elf like, you know, I want them to seem like new different creatures that are higher than humans in some way, but they just act like cheesy humans. So now they're going to Khazad-dûm, realm of the dwarves. Wow, that looks nice. Like the background, it looks really nice. Yeah, I don't know like how far they walked here. Like that was another thing that everybody's talking about. I was like, how far did they walk here? It looks like they went through those mountains or something. Like it looked like it was kind of far away, but they're just like going for a stroll. So it is kind of weird. Like I wish they would do a better job explain or showing us like distances and timelines, you know, so that we have a better idea. When you go on a trip for a couple days, you at least need a backpack, right? Even one day, a day pack. They're called day packs because usually if you're going out for a day, you got to carry some things with you, like maybe a water bottle, a change of clothes if you're going to stay the night. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't bring it. They don't need anything, you know? Like they probably got to take a SHIT somewhere. Did they bring toilet paper? Like this is, it's not like the modern world. They don't have like a gas station nearby where they can just go to the bathroom, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, they show the map and it looks like it's many miles, like, you know, and then this next scene they're there and it's like it looks like they just walked around the corner, or they just walked for, like, if you don't bring anything with you, it's probably going to be like less than an hour walk, right? No. I like that. No. I like the design of their armor from like what do you call it? Like a quirky design look, that it looks like it could be from, you know, the what was it, the Oz movie, the sequel, not the Wizard of Oz, but the second one. It was more like creepy and like it had all these weird designs, the wheelers and all this. It looks like it could, these characters, these dwarves could be from that Oz movie. I forgot the name of that Oz movie. But practically, if you can't turn your head in these things, then it's not really good for war, you know what I'm saying? This is pretty cool. I always like the idea of like having civilizations underground, like whole big cities and stuff. So this is pretty cool looking, I think. And the music's pretty epic too. Might be a little over the top, but whatever. Cheesy. My heart sings the elf. I'm not a huge fan of all the gold. Like, I guess maybe they mine a lot of gold and so they have a lot or whatever, but it's something that's kind of like everywhere in this show. Like the elves, I'm moving my hands like Trump. I'm like, the elves have like golden armor and all, or not armor, but what was his name? The king, the High King, Gilibrembor, whatever. He was wearing like all this gold, and then here like all their costumes and stuff is like has gold all over it, and so like everything looks very similar with the gold and the blue, and you know, make them look radically different with different colors and stuff. What is this challenge? Like, why did they make it? What's the purpose? So you invoke this challenge for what? If you lose, you're banished, but if you win, what? You get to stay? Like, that's how someone gets to like come into their fortress or whatever. It's like, hey, I'm a stranger. Oh, you can't come in. And then you, if you're like, okay, well, I can't come in, I'm gonna invoke this Casa Doom thing, this challenge thing, and then they're like, oh, okay, if you win, you get to stay, but if you lose, you can't ever come in. I guess it's like if you prove your mettle, like your strength, then you gain respect with them, I guess. So maybe that's what it is. But does the dwarf that lose, does he, do they kick him out? Okay, so they grant something. He said a single boon. I don't know what that is. Like, what does that mean? He gets to talk to them or something? All right, so he gets something. The armor and what people are wearing here is like, it looks like from Mad Max or something. What some of these dwarves are wearing. I could see that rock smashing contest could be a thing that they do underground for fun or whatever as a challenge. So yeah, you know, that seems cool. Oh, it's flute playing. Whoa, holy crap. So there's like all these, he just yelled, he was like, oh, and there's all these like whispers like, so I guess they're trying to insinuate that maybe he's bad and he's like potentially Sauron because in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you know, there's like, he's associated with the whispers. I don't know what she just said. She was like, my father always said.
Father always says a Harfoot without manners is as like to get far in life as a square wheel. So
whatever, some kind of Hobbit sign language. I'm Nori. Like, why does she think he would understand what this is? Why does she maybe she thinks he's deaf, and so but she also knows sign language for hobbits too. Maybe she has a deaf friend or something. Okay, what the heck is that? Ugh! Disgusting. Stop. That is so gross. Why are they like purposefully making them look so nasty, eating little snails and then sucking on her nasty fingers? Ew. He has the power to break people's legs from far away. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I know what's going on. I can see it, but it's like not much. It's like they're just showing a long scene where it could be shorter or something. They're just like, I'm not sure. He's drawing on the ground. I guess he's just trying to figure out how to communicate now. He lost his memory, so he's just starting to relearn some things. So that's, you know, it's kind of believable. If you like have amnesia, you might be cloudy headed. You might, I mean, I don't really know how amnesia works, but I would imagine that you could be cloudy headed. You could like start to remember some words that you knew before, but now you're just relearning them. She's like, stop yelling, stop speaking, and it spells. I'm just a Harfoot. Shut up. Stop yelling at me. Oh. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. All right, so we just spent I don't know how long with the Harfoots and he broke his leg or whatever, but it was just felt drawn out, you know. This is funny though. Her plan was to swim across the whole ocean. The notes say, general trivia, the great sea or the sundering seas divide the undying lands from Middle Earth, where there are still nameless things in the deepest places of the world. Sauron. Wait, what? Why did she just go back in the water? Wait, why did she was gonna come up on the raft, but then decided not to because he said something. I don't know, like something about her. Why was she such an ass to him? Like he was trying to help her up, and then she was like, "No, I don't want you to help me up. This woman can help me up, though." Wait, she's like totally like dying of dehydration and being tired here. So she probably, had the idea that she was gonna die, jumping off of the boat that was going to Valinor or whatever. It's just so dumb. Like, it's either go to Valinor and be alive, or jump off and certain death. But I don't know. This raft came out of nowhere. Yeah, where'd she come from? Ooh. Did she just say they've been out here for 2 weeks? How are they still alive? Have they been eating each other? I think she said they were attacked 2 weeks ago. They have no food and water. They have like one little thing of water. Maybe they had more water before. I don't know. Wait, was that the woman that helped her up? So the woman betrayed her. so Galadriel didn't want the guy to help her up, but wanted the woman to help her up. But the woman is the one that betrayed her. Yeah. So they don't give a name to the new guy yet on the side here. They have Aemon. So they named the other strangers that are gonna die, but they don't name him yet because they want to be mysterious. Sauron survived. I would never want to be stranded in the ocean. That would suck. Always be like being scared of, like if you didn't have a rat, if you were just like floating, being scared of getting your legs being bit off by sharks. Halbrand. Do they show his name now? Yep, they show it now. Halbrand. Why does she look like she was mad at him? I don't get it. She's selectively mad at some people. Oh, so she's mad at all the guys, the men, because in her youth she was bullied by the kids, right? I guess that's what they're trying to say here. Like, she's so asshole-ish because of that one time where some boys sunk her little ship. I guess. Go to therapy. I also don't like, again, so there's like gold and blue everywhere in this show, and then also this swirly design that Elrond? I'll remember their names. Elrond. Okay, and the dwarf is Durin. Elrond is wearing this swirly design, and everyone else in the show wears the swirly design too. So it's too much. It's basically saying the costume designers were like, oh, let's use this pattern on everybody, because either they didn't have a budget for a different design. I don't know. 60 million is not enough for a different pattern. So it kind of looked like he quit here tactically because he thought about it. So I don't know, but why is he quitting? Because that means he's banished, right? So why would that be a good tactic? There's another quote: a dog may bark at the moon, but he cannot bring it down. That one is not a confusing sentence structure, but I don't know what it means. So it's all talk and no action? Is that what it means? All talk? I think he's saying you're all talk. You're all bark but no bite. That's what he's saying. He was basically taunting him at the end there. He was like gloating. You're all bark and no bite. That's what he was saying. He may bark at the moon, but he cannot bring it down. I guess. Otherwise, I have no clue what that's supposed to mean. The tactic was just to get him to walk him out, but he didn't know he was going to walk him out. It could have been one of those security guards. So it's kind of a poor tactic, right? Quit. If he won, he would have been able to stay there, right? So why not try to win if that was his tactic? Or maybe he really was just tired, but it looked like he was using a tactic to stop there. So I don't know. I'm not sure. This looks pretty cool, I guess, but it also looks pretty CGI-ish. Like, it kind of reminds me of that movie, The War of Tomorrow. What is it called? Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. The CGI, that was kind of like a cheaper looking movie, but I actually enjoyed it, but that's kind of it. The CGI in this part kind of reminds me of the CGI in that movie. Just very, almost kind of like fake looking on purpose.
You missed.
Wait. He just said, at least hear my proposal. Elrond said that. And then Durin was like, aha, so you just came here for business. And then Elrond's like, no, I came to see you. No, you just said you came for business. I think Elrond actually makes a pretty good elf. Like, he acts elfish-like, kind of regal and just very, mature. So, like, out of the elves I've seen so far, the other ones look like they're from telenovelas. Elrond looks more elfish. And then Durin, he's pretty good.
Durin didn't tell me you were coming.
Her eyes are creepy. It makes her look insane. And again, with the gold leaf in the hair, like everybody's got gold leaf in their beards and in their hair. What are these heads made out of that they can carry them like that? Are they stone? They sound like metal, maybe. Maybe they're just like a really thin metal or something. If those were like iron heads, they'd probably weigh 700 pounds. Which means they're probably made out of plastic. I don't know what she's saying. So is she actually wearing gold then? Is that like gold tin? It says here in the general trivia, Durin's home is carved in the mountain. Gold and Jews are used generously. There's no lack of such riches here. So they're very rich. Because they're tunnelers, I mean, that makes sense, if you can dig up a lot of stuff. So I guess that because gold is so plentiful, they use it as jewelry and stuff. Okay. People would be a fool for believing that tree in the background would grow in darkness, but it's in the light there. There's no darkness there, it's light.
How could it?
And he just said love grew the tree. Pretty sure the light grew the tree. Unless it's a love tree. I like Disa. She's fun. Yeah, she's cool. She's a good actor. All right, Disa's the goat. She convinced Durin to let Elrond stay so that he could do the proposal. He just got water to like slick his hair back. Yeah. And he reached, did you see how far down he reached too? Did he want to get the water that was 2 feet deep? Like you could just like scoop some water from the top. And he didn't even slick his hair back that well. What was the point of that? Alright, so he saw whatever the thing was on his little sign on his necklace. Is he just hitting on her? You didn't keep your distance? Like, how much closer do you want her to be? Like, you want her to sit on your lap? Is that what you're wanting right now? You're stranded in the middle of the ocean and you want a little action? Okay. She just said, what kind of man are you to leave your companions? Well, it was all kind of like free-for-all, save yourself kind of thing, because there was a huge fish creature attacking them. Like, what was he going to do? Kill the creature? What kind of man is he? Like, everybody it was like fend for yourself type of thing. How casually she says things like, so she was just saying that thing on your neck, what is it? And he's like, it's a symbol of my king or whatever. And she's like, oh, we could go reclaim it. And he's like, well, with what army? She's like, leave the army to me. So casually, like, she's so good. She's so good at whatever she does that she could just in like a day get an army somehow. Leave the army to me. I could just go grab one in 5 seconds. The way she says it so casually. Like, that's how great she is, I guess. Why is she so pissed off? All the other elves aren't pissed off. Why is she pissed off? She's like, blah, blah, blah. So many people have been taken from me by this foe. And, like, so is everyone else. So what? First yawn. And I just drank an energy drink, too. Starting to get a little slow. She's been searching for Sauron for who knows how many centuries, and he's now saying that her enemy's in the Southlands. Has she not checked out the Southlands? Like, you could probably you could travel the whole Earth how many times in like 200, 300, 400 years? That's the one place she hasn't checked. Oh, the Southlands. Oh, I've never checked there. Mostly it's just though their dialogue and what they say is like the biggest problem so far. They say silly things that either contradict themselves or don't make much sense. Also, some of what they do is silly, like the way that they travel and around and stuff doesn't make much sense. It's just kind of a mixed bag in terms of acting. Some of them,
We're all alone.
he just said he's seen land. She's coming back telling them like the city has been burned down, and he's like, I've seen landslides that have been less dangerous. And I'm like, the city. He's like, he needs proof. You don't want to go check it out? Like the whole city burned down. So he thinks she's lying. I don't really know why they don't like the elves. Maybe they explained it a little bit. I don't remember. They should. That's another thing. They don't do a great job of explaining things. He found like this claw in the wall. Is it smart to go alone in a tunnel where you don't really have much room? You can't go, like, the only way is forward or back. And you know there's something dangerous down here? See, now he's just panicking. Like, he should know better. He's like an old elf, right? Why are you putting yourself in even a smaller crawl place? If you're trapped in there and there's like creatures, draw your sword. You'll be better off if you're in like that open area. But now he's like wedging himself in to this small area. Hey, look at the cute little rat. The rat was like swimming. Hold on. Look at the rat. The rat's like, I gotta get out of here. Was that CGR? Or did they actually throw a rat in the water? Claws. Not really scary at all. Theo hit himself again. He was like, get help, go. And then he closes the door. He's like, I'll just keep hiding in here. Thank you very much. Wait. Why is she staying? She needs to, they both need to get out of here. Like there's giant claw marks on the wall. What person in their right mind would be like, I want to hang around here. There's like inch wide by like 3 foot long claw marks on the wall. Yeah, that looks like about the size of a giant bear. I definitely want to stick around here. Like imagine a bear thrashing your house up and then you're hiding and you tell your mom, go, I'll stay here. And then she turns around and is like, no, I'm going to hang out. So wait, she was like, I'm going to leave. But then she was like, nah, maybe I should protect my child. So she like had a second, like wouldn't her first choice be to protect her child? I don't know how good of a mom she is. These scenes are kind of drawn out a little bit, you know? They're like 2 or 3 times longer than they need to be. They're trying to do like a horror scene here, I guess. It's not scary. It's just kind of slow. It'd be scarier, like movies are scarier like this if you don't know what it is. But we know it's an orc. You know, it's creepy and gross, but like we know that they're similar in strength to like humans, maybe stronger, but a little bit, but it's not like it's not like this new creature that we don't know anything about, because the mystery is what makes scary movies scary. And when you reveal what it is, it's not as scary anymore. I guess he is strong. He just busted through that thick table. She just threw some cayenne pepper at him, I guess. I don't know how he got that rope wrapped around his neck. It was just like it wasn't like looped. So I don't know. He could have like gotten out of it. Ew, gross. That guy kind of looked like a scarecrow. I don't know. It's something from Jeepers Creepers or not that. He looks like a gross scarecrow, but he's not that great. So that fight scene, I mean, you could say it was believable-ish, but the orc like didn't really do a good job of killing them. Like he should have done a better job if he was that strong. They didn't overpower him. They just kind of used their smarts, and then she chopped his head off. So it was somewhat believable, but they should have just left. She's such a badass. Yeah, I can see how like the women are all the super strong, powerful people in the show, and all the men are like, you know, twats. There's no way you could see anything in that water. It'd be pitch black, wouldn't it? They're really sinking a lot. Like, I don't know how far you can go before you have to clear your ears, you know, where you have to go, like, to clear your ears, or else they'll, like, the pressure will be too much. I don't know if they know that, if they've done any, like, scuba diving training. Why didn't he let her die? He let everybody else die. And the music is very epic here, but it's just, like, I think it's a little too much. Like, tone it down a little bit. I love how I immediately yawn when they switch to the Harfoots. I think the Harfoots might kind of be the slowest part of this so far. How do they capture that many fireflies? That's a lot of fireflies. You'd have to, like, there's not that many fireflies flying around, are there? You probably have to go, like, miles to catch that many. So he apparently knows how to speak some kind of language still, because he's speaking to these fireflies to have them do something. So I guess he still remembers how to cast some spells at least, but he doesn't know how to, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he knows how to speak whatever language he can speak, but he can't speak English yet. So maybe that's what it is. He just can't speak Harfoot language, which is common, I guess. English. So mystical, so mysterious. It's very nice looking, but it's kind of drawn out, and I'm not sure. Like, get to the point is what I'm trying to say here. Like, do what you're doing, but don't spend 5 minutes doing it. Yeah, it's a really drawn out scene. I'm just yawning again. The Harfoots make me yawn.
What does that mean? This is...
How does she know? She just said, I haven't seen those stars before. I guess the ones that he put up in the sky. How does she know? I guess they're really astrological, these Harfoots. These hobbits are very good with astrology, I guess. Okay. They didn't really... Like, again, this is another thing that they should have shown us with, like, how good they are with astrology. But she's just saying, oh yeah, I've seen those stars before, but implying that I'm really good with astrology. Well, how do we know that you're good with astrology? Like, establish some of these things with us. Okay, so they were showing that he killed the bugs, and they were showing it specifically. So to maybe try to tell us there's something weird and bad going on here. Something glowing, which we know later on to be mithril. They must have had LED lights in that box to, like, light it up. I don't remember this thing. Did he find this hilt thing last episode or this episode? The sword pulls blood toward it. The music is too dramatic. Yeah. Da, 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 da. They're just walking across the screen. Da, da. I mean, I get it. Like, they have to leave because the orcs are attacking. But we've only seen... The music is so epic, but the danger is, so far, has been one orc. Okay, I guess, like, a couple more that we didn't see underground. So, I mean, I believe that they would want to leave because they know orcs are around. That makes sense, but the difference between the epicness of the music and the danger that we've actually seen does not compute. I mean, yeah, we saw a town that was burned down, but we didn't see what burned it down. 3 orcs? Okay. They could cut the scenes down in half, the length, and get a better effect with this show. The episodes could be half-hour episodes, probably, with how long some of these scenes are. So coincidental. It's true the writing is not great. Things are too coincidental too many times. It's like too it's too much of a coincidence. It's like amateurish writing. I could do a better job than this, I feel like. Okay, I don't know. There were some parts that were fun and good and exciting. maybe not so exciting in this episode. The first one, that the beginning of the first episode was more exciting. But here, yeah, some things happened earlier. The Harfoots kind of made me yawn. The dwarf part was fun. So there were some things happening there. It felt like the Harfoots just kind of boring, or like yawn-inducing. Then there was like an action sequence with the worm. Well, I don't know why they called it a worm. It was a fish or a whale. So like in the water, some things happened. And then other than that, it was just a lot of talking to each other, walking, and the danger that was supposed to be there just didn't seem that dangerous. The orcs, the music was trying to be so epic in a couple parts, especially with the orc parts where they were walking away, but they only showed one orc and then some hands in the caves that grabbed what's the elf guy's name? I forgot. But so it just wasn't that exciting overall. It wasn't amazing. It was okay, this episode, but again, like some of the things they say don't make sense, or just like weird and too coincidental with like she came across a raft in the middle of thousands of miles of ocean. So maybe they're trying to go with things that are fate, right? Because they were hinting at that with Meteor Dude. What was his name? The wizard, Gandalf man, where Nori was like, oh, it was this might have been meant to be that he fell right where we are. So they're hinting at like some of this stuff could be fate, and which is just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lame. Ideally don't do this fate stuff. Do like, you can do some coincidence, but it shouldn't be that extreme. So like this was really extreme, where she was in the vast ocean and somehow she came across a small little raft. That's too much. Like, yeah, it's too much. So what they should have done is maybe shown that they were still near the coast or something. Or maybe there was an island near Valinor and they were like, they showed them being near the coast of the island, and then it would be believable at least that she could swim to that island, or it would be believable that there was a raft nearby or something that found them. Because in real life, if you float away, it's extremely hard for the Coast Guard to find people that just float away from the coast, let alone someone in the middle of the ocean. So, and this is like modern technology and radar and all this stuff. So yeah, basically, I don't know if it was better or worse than the first episode. They're both just kind of similar in terms of, some things are not that great. Overall, it's like a mix, and a mix of like some good acting and some bad acting, some good action and some action that's not really good, or it's like not really action but they're trying to be action, or they're trying it to be, make it scary but it's not. It's like somewhat mediocre. It feels like it should be better than it is. It looks pretty good for what it is, for what it's supposed to be. It doesn't meet the level that it should be. But anyways, that's all. This is kind of fun doing these little watch parties with myself. So I'm gonna try to get through the last episodes. So I'm at 2, so I need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all the way up to 7 now, I think. And so I'm gonna try to get through them all this next week and be caught up before the last episode. So which one are we on now? Let me see. We have all the way up to 6. Anyways, thanks a bunch for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe and everything and all that. Bye.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women. Oh my. Oh my. Sex with men. Oh